Welcome to the class 11 of electrical circuit. In this class, we will discuss about the Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem. Both of these theorems are very important to analyze an electrical circuit. But here, we don't want to analyze the current or voltage passing through each element. In this Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem, all we want to know is that how much voltage is being applied to the load. We are not concerned about the other part of the electrical circuit. The Thevenin theorem states that if you are given any such kind of circuit in which you have a load with terminals A and B and you have rest of the circuit like this one. So Thevenin theorem says that you can replace all of this circuit with one voltage source and one resistor in series. So that voltage source we term it as a Thevenin voltage and that resistor we term it as a Thevenin resistance. So in this theorem, we will solve such kind of circuit and we will simplify this whole circuit into one voltage source with one resistor in series with it. To give it an example of it, for example, if you connect a toaster to a plug, for example, if you connect a toaster to the plug, you are not worried about how much voltage or how much resistance is being passed through these other parts of this circuit. All you are worried about is that you want to know that how much voltage is being applied to the terminals of the toaster. So in that kind of situation, we will use the Thevenin theorem and we can use the Norton theorem as well. There are some steps to follow to find the Thevenin voltage and Thevenin resistance. And I'm not going to go into the theory of it. We will just have a look at an example and I hope you will understand better from an example. In this example, you are asked to find the Thevenin equivalent circuit for this whole circuit. You are asked to find the Thevenin equivalent circuit shown in this figure to the left of the terminals A and B. Here we have terminals A and B. On the left of that terminal, we have a circuit. So we have to find the equivalent Thevenin circuit. It means that we have to find the Thevenin voltage and Thevenin resistance. Now let's see how to do that. To find a Thevenin resistance, first we have to find the Thevenin resistance. To find the Thevenin resistance, we have to convert all the current sources into an open circuit and all the voltage sources into a short circuit. So from this terminal A and B, we have to look into the circuit from this angle and we have to convert all the current sources into open circuit. So if we convert this into an open circuit, so you can see that when the current passes from here, it won't pass from here because this is an open circuit. It will just go here. So here we don't have any paths because we have converted this current source into an open circuit. Similarly, we have converted this voltage source into a short circuit. So you can see it's a short circuit here. Now, to find the Thevenin resistance, we have to look at this circuit from these two terminals, A and B. And you have to pass the current from here and you have to come back here. Now, if you analyze this circuit, you can see that when the current passes from this 1 ohm resistance, when it reaches here, there are two paths. One is through this 12 ohm resistance and other one is through this 4 ohm resistance. So we can say that these two resistances are in parallel combination with each other. So we can find the parallel combination of these two resistances by using that formula for the parallel resistors. And then the total resistance of these two will be in series with this resistance. So we can say that total resistance, that is Thevenin resistance, is equal to parallel combination of these two resistances plus series combination of this resistance, which is equal to 4 ohm. So first what we have to do is to find the Thevenin resistance. Now we have to find the Thevenin voltage. To find the Thevenin voltage, we have to replace this load I mean, we have to convert it into an open circuit like here. And then we have to keep the remaining circuit as it is, like here. Now we have to find the Thevenin voltage. If you look at this circuit, here we have an open circuit. So no current will pass through this 1 ohm resistance because there's no path to follow. So we can say that the total voltage here will be equivalent to the total voltage here because no current is being passed here. So we can say that these both are in parallel. So total voltage here will be equivalent to the total voltage here. Now we have to find the total voltage in this branch. To do that, we can use the mesh analysis, or you can use also other method too. But here we are going to use the mesh analysis. Mesh analysis says that if you look at this circuit, there are two meshes. The first mesh is this one, and the second mesh is this one. Now looking at the first mesh, mesh analysis says that the total voltage rise, will always be equal to the total voltage drop. So the voltage that's rising here in this branch is 32 voltage. This is the total voltage rise will always be equal to voltage drop. So first voltage is being dropped here, which is equal to I1 into 4. So 4I1 plus 12 into I1 minus I2. Now, if you solve this equation, you will get this formula. Solve this one, you will get this equation. Now, looking at the other mesh, we don't need to solve this mesh because we know that the current passing through this branch is the same as this I2, but both of them have opposite direction. So you can say that I2 is nothing but is equal to minus 2 ampere. So you know this I1, you have this equation and you know the value of I2. So you can find I1 from this by putting this value into this equation, which is equal to 0.5 ampere. Now the Thevenin voltage, the voltage here, the voltage here, and the voltage here will always be same because you know that in parallel the voltage remains same. So you want to find the Thevenin voltage, so you can find it here. The voltage through this branch is equal to, if you know that mesh analysis, you can find the voltage here 12 into I1 minus I2. Why I1 minus I2? Because looking at these values of I1 and I2, you can see that I1 is greater than I2. That's why we have put it like 12 into I1 minus I2, which is the Thevenin voltage. Now you can put the values of I1 and I2 here, and you can find the Thevenin voltage, which is equal to 30 volt. There's another method to find the Thevenin voltage, which is by applying the nodal analysis. By applying the nodal analysis. If you apply the nodal analysis here, you can see that the Thevenin voltage here, according to the nodal analysis, it says the current entering a node will always be equal to the current leaving the node. And in this nodal analysis, you can see that there's only one node and other one is the ground. So when you apply the nodal analysis, you can see that the current entering a node, which is 2 ampere, will always be equal to the current leaving the node. The current is leaving from this direction as well as from this direction. So the current that is leaving from this direction is Thevenin voltage minus 32. So VTH sorry, I'm not good at writing and trying it. So VTH minus 32 Why minus 32? Because we have to find the potential difference on this branch divided by 4 plus VTH minus 0 because this part is connected to the ground. So VTH divided by 12. Now this equation and this equation both are same. If you solve this equation, you will get this equation. Now you can just use the simple mathematics and you can find the value of Thevenin voltage, which is equal to 30 volt. So you can apply any kind of method. You can apply the mesh analysis, you can apply the nodal analysis. With both equations, you can find the Thevenin voltage, which is equal to 30 volt. Now you know the Thevenin voltage, you know the Thevenin resistance, so we can find the equivalent circuit in the next slide. Thevenin voltage is 30 ohm, 30 volt. Thevenin resistance is 4 volt. So we can replace all of this circuit with one voltage source and with one resistance. So this is the Thevenin voltage and this is the Thevenin resistance and this is your load. So you can do that. Now, further, if you read at this example, it says that find the current through this load when RL is equal to 6 ohm, when RL is equal to 16 ohm, and RL is equal to 36 ohm. For that, to find the current, you have this formula. You have this formula. The current through the load is equal to V Thevenin divided by R Thevenin plus RL. So you can put the different values of RL to find the load current. This is your homework. You can go through it. And in this course, we are only concerned about the independent sources, not the dependent sources. So we're not going to solve any problem for the dependent sources. So this is your homework. Just do it. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Next is the Norton theorem. Norton theorem is very similar to the Thevenin theorem, but here we can replace a whole circuit with one current source and a resistance. But that resistance has to be in parallel with the current source. The concept is same, but in the output we don't have a voltage source, we have a current source. To find the Norton current, that is IN, we have two methods. We can find the Norton current by using the V Thevenin, or we can also find the Norton current by short circuiting this load part. Let's see an example to make it more clear to you. In this example, it asks you to find the Norton equivalent of the circuit at the terminal A and B. You have this circuit and you have to find the Norton equivalent circuit. So Norton equivalent circuit means that you have to find IN and RN. RN is nothing but it's the same as Thevenin resistance. It's just the same thing. So to find Thevenin theorem, to find Thevenin resistance, you know that you have to replace the current source with an open circuit and a voltage source with a short circuit. And then you have to look at the circuit from these terminals A and B. Now, if you go from here, when you reach here, you know that there are two paths. The first one is this, and the other one, when you reach here, you can see there are two paths. The first one is this one, and the other one is this path. On this path, this is the only one path. So you can say that these resistances, 8 ohm, 4 ohm, and 8 ohm, which is equal to 20 ohm, they all are in series because there's only one path. So 8 plus 8, 16 plus 4, 20. So these 20 ohm resistances are in parallel combination with this 5 ohm. So you can find the total resistance by using this formula. Rn, which is the Norton resistance, you can also write it R Thevenin, it's the same thing, which is equal to 20 multi 5, because both of these are in parallel, divided by 20 plus 5. The total resistance is 4 ohm. Total resistance is 4 ohm. It's not written here, but you will find it in the next slide. So you have found the Thevenin resistance or Norton resistance, since both are the same thing. So I'm going to call them Thevenin or Norton, the same thing. So next you have to find is IN. What you have to find is IN, which is the Norton current. To find IN, we have two different methods. The first method is that we have to replace this load with a short circuit. Short circuit means we have to replace it with this line, I mean with a short circuit. So we have replaced it with a short circuit here. Now you can apply the mesh analysis to find the current through this load, which will be equal to the IN. Now if you look at this circuit, at first point or at first time you might say that there are three meshes. The first one is here, the second one is here, and the third one is here. But in fact, there are only two meshes. There are not three meshes here. The first mesh is this one. If you look at this mesh, when you start from here, the current, when it reaches here, it will never go through this 5 ohm resistance. Because you know that current will always follow a path with least resistance. So when the current reaches here, there are two paths for it to follow. The first one is this one, and the second one is this one. Since this path is a short circuit, it means that the total resistance on this circuit, on this path, is 0. So current will never go through this path. So you can just leave this path. So you can say that there are two meshes. The first mesh is this, and the second mesh is this one. This 5 ohm resistance will never come into the game. Now you can apply the mesh analysis and find the current IN. I'm not going to repeat it again. You can just go through it and you can find the current IN. There's another method. You can find IN by using Thevenin voltage, which is this one. First, you have to find the Thevenin voltage. So once you have the Thevenin voltage, and you have the Thevenin resistance, you can find IN by this formula. In both methods, the total current will be same. If you look at this method, the total current IN is equal to 1 ampere. And if you look at the previous method, the IN is equal to 1 ampere. So you can apply both methods, it's up to you. I would suggest you to just apply the Thevenin method because you just need to get familiar with the one method. So that's it. So we can replace all of this circuit with one current source, that's IN and RN. But you have to keep one thing in mind, that you have to put this RN in parallel with this current source. So this is how to solve different circuits for Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem. This is your homework. You have to find IN and RN in this circuit, and you have to draw an equivalent Norton circuit. Just go through it, and I would suggest you to solve few more examples from other sources too. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Thank you so much.